Hey guys, it's Tris. So what I really want to do in this video is to go over the art from our life, at least our kind of like most recent art. So I didn't think that it would be fair to start with art of my own, so I want to start with Kasey's art because I was looking through it and I found it really interesting and inspiring, and then I will end with art from me. Okay. So Kasey knew 4 languages, and I know only 2 languages. I know English and Spanish, right? But she knew 4 languages, and one of them was German. So this is a picture. It's a very sad picture, obviously. And it's got, I'm not quite sure what all the German words say, actually, because I don't know German. But, anyways, so, like, obviously you can see it's a picture of her in a corner, like, all curled up and, like, crying. Okay, and this one actually doesn't have a date on it, but I guess we got this book in the last year, because it's not that filled out. But it starts kind of with that one. And then she's got really sweet UFO designs in here. Yeah, check it out. Sweet UFO designs. In my spare time, when I'm not me, I design UFOs. And orgone crowns. I thought this was a pretty cool idea. I think I might do that. She wanted to make orgone crowns. But then we get like some creepy ones, like this one. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this one. Okay, so this is entitled Birth, and it's from February 1st, 2016. And this picture is because this is a picture of when she had Allie. And the whole thing was really, like, creepy and messed up, and we actually almost died. We had to get 4 blood transfusions, and the whole thing was just messed. Like, me, Tris, I had Emily, okay, and that was actually, like, it wasn't a normal pregnancy because I still had complications from being a negative-blooded person, and Justin is a positive-blooded person, and so my body always goes anemic and tries to fight off the fetus, and intrauterine growth restriction and stuff like that is a huge problem because I'm a negative-blooded person and Justin is positive-blooded. But I didn't have to have a C-section with Emily. When Kasey had Allie, she had to have a C-section, and it was because when Allie was ready to come out, she wasn't dilated enough, and then the cord got pinched and cut off, and like Allie's, because when she was pregnant with Allie had a 1-stranded uterine cord. Basically that means that instead of having 2 strands in the tube, you've only got 1. And so when it got pinched, all of the oxygen, everything got cut off, and Allie started dying. And then I basically, like, passed out, and we almost died. Basically, like, what happened is Justin actually said to me that I signed for the C-section, but neither me or her, because I've conversed with her about this, like, we don't have any memory of signing for the C-section. As far as I can remember, it just happened, and I don't remember signing for it at all. But I guess we had just passed out. I don't know why. Literally, when I look through the memories of her having Allie, all I can see is us getting tired and passing out and not being able to stay awake. It was almost like we were drugged and could not stay awake. We kept passing out. And apparently when I passed out, I had stopped breathing several times as well. So Allie wasn't getting oxygen, I wasn't breathing continuously, and then they rushed us in for a C-section. That's what happened. And Justin was not allowed to be in the room. They told Justin he would be allowed to, and they didn't let him in, and he was not allowed to be in the room when the C-section happened. And beyond that, they couldn't stop the bleeding in me, and because I was out for the C-section, I don't know if I passed out or they gave me something. I don't know what. This whole thing is fucky to me. But, like, looking back on it, I don't know how long it was before they gave Allie to Justin, because I didn't wake up for 6 hours after Allie was actually born. That's how knocked out I was. I didn't wake up for 6 hours after the C-section, and that Justin says, like, he doesn't remember how long it was before they gave him Allie. But that is really fucky to me. And so, it was 6 hours before I woke up, and then I was able to feed her. But he says that after the doctors gave Allie to him, he had her for, like, the rest of the time, and she was crying because she couldn't feed, and that was for almost 6 hours that I was out. So anyways, this is how Kasey drew birth. Yeah, there's a creepy alien guy there, and her on the table, and the blood transfusion bags and stuff. That's our birth experience. Okay. This is what, when Kasey was out, she drew this. This is a picture of Justin doing Tantra on her. It's Tantra healing, because we have all of our Reiki she has all of her Reiki certifications. You know, I just can't take credit for it. It doesn't feel right. She has all of her Reiki certifications, and she taught Justin how to do Reiki, so that's him doing Reiki on her. I guess she wanted to remember that that happened. That is a picture Justin drew of us. Hang on. Okay, this is really important, because this ties into me and how all of us actually use occultism, and have always used occultism to manage our lives and what I would call our dissociative identity disorder. So this is a picture of the Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh formula. I'm trying to make it flatter and closer. Okay, here I am. So what you have here is the Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh formula, and this is part of our collective knowledge in our brain, so I can actually tell you a little bit about this one. This is how we channel the spirit into the physical, and also how we have learned to use co-consciousness. Kasey was the first one to figure out co-consciousness, but I can use it too now because I know, because she's collected all of this information. And I've been catching up. So basically, the Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh formula, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. Okay. This is how we kind of channel our spirit, and it works by channeling fire, which is spirit. This is like the 4 elements, and also ties into the suits of the tarot. You channel it from the soul, from the spirit, okay, into the mental plane, which is like the thinking plane, and then that's when it's basically like an idea. And then, so it teaches you not to ignore your ideas, and then if you don't ignore it, basically it comes down here into the emotional plane when it becomes a feeling, and that's when you have the feeling and the thought. Okay, sorry, got interrupted. But yeah, so in this formula, after the information or idea, as you would have it, or whatever you're trying to channel, since this is kind of a recipe for channeling the spirit in all of its forms. Basically, after it goes through the mental and it's a thought, it becomes an emotion or a feeling. And that's when you have the feeling matched with the thought. And then if you don't ignore those two things, you bring it down to the physical plane and manifest it in the physical world. So that's kind of how we use it, and for co-consciousness, because we were able, through channeling, to basically like make contact with the other parts of us, and thus initiate co-consciousness. Co-consciousness, if you don't know in DID terms, is when, like me, Triss, I am able to talk to Kasey because she's a voice in my head, and then, you know, there are other parts of us as well. So it's like we're a family in our head, and, you know, we fight like sisters, and we're very much like sisters. So, you know, it's impossible to please everybody, and basically our rule of thumb is if you're out and you have control of the body, then it's your decisions. And, like, I don't regret most of the decisions that Kasey's made. I definitely regret some of them. But, like, I don't regret our tattoos or anything like that, because I feel like that's the first thing everyone asks me. I don't regret any of the tattoos that she has. I think that they all symbolize us as a person. So, and they all kind of mean something that we all understand. It's sort of like our tattoos are a big reminder for the things that we know, and I think that that's important. But yeah, anyways, so that's what this formula means, and that's why it's important to us. It also ties into the tarot and stuff, but I could be here talking for like a while if I get started on that. This is kind of like, I don't know, Kasey did this one. It doesn't have a date on it, but that's kind of like how we charge when we go outside and we do grounding into the earth and take in energy from the sun, because meditating outside in the sunlight is amazingly, amazingly good for you. I don't know if you know that, but it's amazingly good for you. Okay. Whoa. I'm not sharing that. Okay. Yeah, some of this I'm not going to share because I think Kasey would be upset, so I'm not going to do anything that would make her mad at me. Alright, so this one is very important. She wrote this down. The story behind this, actually, like, she totally could not stop until she had finished writing this all down. She wanted to make sure that if she went away and basically, like, we would all have this information. So this is kind of like the castle of our brain, and you might recognize it as like the Kabbalistic formula, but a little bit more filled out and finished. I could be here for like ever diving into how it fits into the flower of life and all of this other stuff, but this is like a map of the castle inside of our brain, and all of the pathways in between, and then all of these things are basically like how to get through the tests that you have to go through kind of in your head to get to all of these different locations and information. And so that's actually, I find it really interesting, like the Kabbalistic tree of life. I don't know if it was meant to work that way, because I think that's why we're so interested in everything esoteric, is the whole idea that, you know, what everyone is searching for outside of them is actually inside of them, and by having dissociative identity disorder, you know, learning this stuff, like, has basically helped us through our life and, you know, made this, like a program, and, like, we can figure it out. And so, like, it all adds up. If you study everything esoteric, it's so, I don't know, it's amazing. It's like everything, the wisdom that they were trying to teach us is like the power inside of us. And maybe by having dissociative identity disorder, it makes you more prone to figuring it out, because it's like there are so many different levels of people with it, but I know a couple other people and have heard of a couple other people who have dissociative identity disorder and use what in the in the psychological world they term magical thinking. Magical thinking is when you apply esoteric knowledge to dissociative identity disorder and other cases to manage your life. And it's amazing how you can use that knowledge to do that. So basically, like, all these little parts and intersections, they all have names. And so that was like super important, and I'm so glad that she actually wrote that down, because we'll never forget it and we'll always have it, and it's one of those really important ones. I guess this is a design for a cloudburster. Oops. Yeah, probably can't see it very good. Yeah, that's a pencil drawing, so. But that's another one. Okay, so that's all the ones that are in here. She has a lot of older art, but I'm not going to break it out right now, and honestly, I think I just need to talk to her about whether or not that would be okay. So I'm going to move on and, like, do some of my art that I've done, I guess. Alright, so, I started doing these coloring books when I came back from, after we had the incident where Kasey tried to kill herself, I was out of the house for a couple weeks, and when I came back, I got all of these grown-up coloring books so that I would have a way to kind of, like, do something and quiet the voices in my head and just, like, do something and be calm and peaceful, and, like, I really like doing these. I find them incredibly therapeutic. And so this is actually the one that I just finished today. I just finished this one. Okay, and then, alright, so the rest of the ones I did, that one is from the Follow Your Bliss coloring book, and I really like this one. I got it on Wish. I think it was like $12, but it's really good, and I like a lot of the designs in it. And then the other one, this one, I finished this one. I really like that one. I call it the Great Cosmic Owl. Alright, and then Justin got me a Game of Thrones coloring book, and I did a couple of these ones. This is the Game of Thrones coloring book I got. And I finished this one. Obviously, had to do Khaleesi's Dragon Eggs. And this one, like, it's so toned really cool because it has, I did it all with, like, gel pens and colored pencils. So it came out really, really good. It's got glitter ones and metallic ones. It's awesome. And then, I did this one. Did the Targaryen emblem. Because inside me there is a Khaleesi. So I really want to frame this for my wall. I gotta find a frame that fits it. But I like this one. Okay. And then, let's see. Oh wait, I also got, this is the first one that I started with. I got this for $1 on Wish. This was a $1 coloring book. I've gotten so much use out of it. So I did this one, which is the Queen of Hearts page. Let me get a little closer. Yeah. And yeah, I did that one. It's a tart. Okay. Some of these my daughter did. Okay, I did this one, but she drew on the other page and it bled through a little bit. Okay. Oh, there we go. I'm like having trouble doing this backwards. Okay. But yeah, I like it because I used, I have these rainbow colored pencils I used on this one. And this one I actually used the rainbow colored pencils in a lot, but I really like this one. You can kind of see on the flowers where I used the rainbow colored pencils. And I got a whole set of rainbow colored pencils on Wish for $1. I know, it's so exciting. Like, it's very exciting to me. Wish makes it super easy to be artistic and very cheap. I did both of these. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. Yeah. I love this one. It's so cool. And you can see, I did this one entirely out of rainbow pencils, I think. And like, all of the flowers came out so rainbowy. Yeah. I like this one. And the door. I like it. But yeah, and then my little owls. I forget I have to do this backwards. Okay. And then that was it for that one. And then I did, this is another Alice in Wonderland coloring book I got. I love this one. It's so awesome. I did the cover page. Oops. Which I really like. And then the first opening page. I thought this came out wicked awesome. You tell I'm a Mainer. I love how that one came out. But yeah, the gel pens and the colored pencils I think make it really pop. Okay, so I did that. I think that's all I've done in this one just so far. And then finally, bam, Doctor Who coloring book. This is like, I was so excited about this one. And I've done 2 in this. Oh, okay. This one is my favorite. It needs a frame. It's all like rainbow colored pencils and gel pens. If I kind of move it like this, you can see how shiny it is. Yeah, I love it. I think it came out awesome. The rainbow colored pencils make it like so trippy. Okay, and then the other one I did was in the front, I think. This one. Yeah. This coloring book is the shit. I absolutely love this one. I think this coloring page came out amazing. But yeah, so that is that one. Okay, and then this last one, I saved this one because I just finished it today. But this is I think the most important one I've done so far, because it's the most important discovery I've made since I've had the body. I call this one Through the Looking Glass. And I know the colors probably aren't going to be the best on this video camera, but so I had this experience when I was obviously making love. And it was like, okay, so this side right here, that's my side, and like what I would see on the real world. And then when I closed my eyes, I could see it from Kasey's perspective, like through the looking glass. And that's exactly what it was like. It was like going through this looking glass almost. Like I could see from her perspective on this side. This is what she was seeing. And it was like I was looking at electricity, because it looked just like a frequency of electricity and like vibration. It looked just like a vibrational frequency. Like the waves were all like up and down like that, like a frequency. And it was all rainbow like that, and it was just amazing. And so I realized that like this isn't the first time that I've seen things from a mirror view. Mirror images, they call them in dissociative identity disorder. They're known as mirror images. But that was like one of the first ones, and it was definitely the first one that I've seen from her perspective. So that I thought was like, I finished this today, and I just like, it was so important I had to write it down. I wanted to make sure if she comes out, she knows that this is how it is. Like if you look, if I look, if she looks, she can see things from my point of view, and if I look, I can see things from her point of view. So, and there's like this mirror wall in between us. So it's very complicated, but I thought that was really important to do. And I have another one that I want to draw also, but this is the one I finished today. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for my art for today. Our art. And if I do more, I guess I might share them if you guys like them. Yeah, that's it. And comments or whatever down below.